It finally happened. I knew the day was going to come where I needed to replace the lawnmower blade. I went ahead and started mowing, and I hit the water shutoff valve, the main shutoff valve in the grass there. They have a little plastic rubber cover on there, and mower hit it, and the blade's done. Completely bent it. You can see we got some damage there. So unfortunately, I don't believe they sell, at least I couldn't find a replacement blade. As you can see, I'm actually leaking fuel there because I topped off the fuel just before I came out and started mowing, and I barely got into it, just a couple minutes in, and then it happened. So hit it with the PB blaster and the impact gun, and I might take that the adapter with me too. Oh, my neighbors are having a little lover's quarrel. Okay, that's nice. That's what happens when you have tweaker neighbors. And, whatever, man. Anyway, let me focus. I am not focused today. Okay, so yeah, let me pop this blade off and go ahead and see what I can find, and then I'll list everything for you guys to go ahead and replace yours should you need to. I imagine you need to if you're watching this video. So yeah, let's get to it. So in my distracted state of mind today, I forgot to hit the record button when I popped this off. Hit it with the impact gun, took a few times, but went ahead and popped off the blade. And once you do that, let's see if I can hold this and record at the same time. So once you do that, it's going to spin counterclockwise. The adapter here pops right off. It just slides right on down. I'm going to go take this down to Lowe's. That's all we got here. And go ahead and get probably a new blade, and I'll probably have to get a new adapter as well. So I'm going to take that both with me and see what I can find. And the socket size, I'm such a rebel. I use Harbor Freight sockets that are not impact sockets and an adapter. You guys like that? It's a 17mm socket, by the way. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this replacement blade. Alright guys, so we're back at this now. It's been a couple days. I went around to Lowe's, and we actually have Tractor Supply also. Neither of them had what I was needing, so I had to hop on Amazon and order this guy here. Now this is the adapter that is made for basically the most common type, at least in my area, which is this bow tie adapter. You can see the difference here. This is the Hyper Tough proprietary one, where you got to buy one of their blades, or a blade, I don't know, that can fit this. The only one I could find that could fit this was about 36 bucks, and that's just too much for a 20-inch blade. So what I made sure was that I had a blade in town, in this case Walmart, that sold a blade that I could source, you know, anytime I should ever need it. And then I got this adapter which could fit this blade, and that's what I did. So these are 7/8 inch inner diameter here, this little circle here, I don't believe it makes a difference, this little oval drop shape, whereas this one's complete circle. There is a difference in the thickness. If you can see inside down there, the metal down at the bottom, there's more of a depth to this one, so when it goes on the crankshaft, it actually goes in further on this Hyper Tough one, whereas this one doesn't sit as high up on the crankshaft, but shouldn't make any difference. It holds on just fine, and this little bolt as well slides right up in there just fine, so it's perfect. So that being said, there's my old bent blade, and here's my new universal $20 blade that I could source here at Walmart. I imagine most people can probably get the same setup. I'll have links to all this in the description, to all of this stuff, so that way others with the same issue, which I imagine there's a lot of people who have this mower, can easily fix this problem once and for all, basically. So alright, let's get it on there and let's go test it. Okay, so one thing, I don't know if I remember if I mentioned this a couple days ago. Make sure your spark plug, which is over here, it's the cap, your plug goes right just under there. Make sure that's out. Okay, you don't want to be working on your mower with that spark plug in there. Same as a car engine. You turn that crankshaft in underneath, and you might cause some serious damage to yourself or anything around you. So that being said, I've got my parts here. One thing to note, the orientation of the blade. In this case, this was the bottom, so make sure your blade matches up, match up the shape. And it also, on the new blade that I got here, says bottom, so make sure this is facing the bottom. That way you're actually cutting the grass, and the blade is actually cutting the grass. So yeah, and you know what? If we actually compare these blades, you can see that this newer blade is actually a little thicker, so it should hold up to any impacts a little better, than the Hyper Tough one. So that's always a plus. But everything else, aside from the bow tie connection, is the same. So let's go ahead and get this on and go fire it up and test it out. So got my adapter here. I'm gonna try to do this quick because my lawnmower will be spilling gas as I have it on its side. So it stunk up my garage pretty bad the last couple days. So I'm gonna add some blue Loctite, just a little bit on the threads here on this bolt, so that way we can just be sure that things don't come slipping off or nothing. Never hurts to add a little safety measure, I guess, a little insurance. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna take a breaker bar and just give it one more. All right. There we go. Good. Plenty of fuel in there still. That's all away. Yeah, yeah, this thing is soaked. I think it's flooded. Man, okay, let's take this off. See the air filter, super dirty, flooded. So we'll take that off for a second. It's running a little funky. I need to clean this air filter. So once this is, for the most part, dry, I'm going to go ahead and do that one of these days. But I'm going to try sticking it back on and firing it up and running it with that to see if it makes a difference. It's running real smooth now with the air filter back in there, so now that it's running well, I'm going to go ahead and cut some grass with it, and we'll see how it holds up.